meditation is leading to mindfulness. Ultimately, it has to, while we have health, of course, the intelligent quotient, all the quotients improve. Intelligent quotient will improve, emotional quotient will improve, which we'll learn next week. But it has to translate to something in our daily life. That's mindfulness. Being present moment aware, non-judgmentally. We have to let things as they are. We stop doing things. We have to start becoming. That means we got to take things as they are. Can we let people to be what they are rather than trying to always change? So mindfulness in all three faculties: thinking, talking, doing. Mindfulness, we can also consider, by the way, this is as enlightenment. Enlightenment is not some big word. Enlightenment is just living in the moment very, very mindfully. Eat while eating, walk while walking is what Buddha said. For someone who came in just from a meditation. Of course, then later he said, observe the breath and then go into yourself. That is meditation. But meditation, when we use word mindfulness, we got to be in the present moment. %, thoughts are judgmental. 90% are judgmental. And that's where 90% suffering is coming. So we identify and then we take away. So what if somebody did not call us for dinner, where they called everybody in the community but they didn't call us? So mindfulness in thinking is being non-judgmental. You see somebody, if there's an argument, if a manager is shouting at the other one, again becoming judgmental. If you want to have a courage, then you have a conversation with them, looking into the privacy of others. Why should we bother about somebody's life? Should we even bother about somebody's life at all? Talking about neighbor, that's not being mindful at all. Talking about a third person in the absence of the third person is not being mindful. In talking, we apply triple filter test. Is it truthful? Is it useful? Is it positive? Otherwise, we probably don't need to open our mouth unless it is one of these three. At least one filter if it can pass. Mindfulness. First thing that I practice is to be as much, what is the need if I am sharing, saying something? Is there a value? But this is something that Patrisa has been really been very, very clear about, especially when it comes to talking. Is there value? Is it useful? Positivity leads to more positivity, we know that. So we've got to be sharing as much. Of course, there will be the only situation where we share something negative or what we consider negative. At the end of the day, in mindfulness over a period, then we'll become equanimous to everything. But if we consider something negative, suppose somebody vacated the body, you share it with people where it's relevant. The close family friends, if you're the first one to get to know about it, then you have to inform the family, and of course you inform it. But that's like the only time, I don't know, very few occasions like that, where even there's something, if you are in a job, you got to do your job, and then you understood that some accident, and you got to go and attend to it, then okay, there we share with that person. But otherwise, general news sharing of no use. It's got to be truthful, positive, and useful. Useful is, of course, our individual judgment. Truthful, so we got to be clear. I mean, there is so much that comes up in the net and WhatsApp and this and that, we just forward it. Do you even know, is it right? Hearsay is not truthful. How do you ensure that it is real before you even share it? It seems something happened. What's the point in sharing? It seems. Why is the point in influencing somebody's or corrupting somebody's mind by just sharing about things that may not be relevant to that other person at all? And most importantly, from our perspective, we lose so much energy. Every word is energy. And especially when we meditate, dear friends, and our words gain so much power, they become bullets. So as we meditate, we increase our energy, so words become very powerful. So we become really, really watchful for our words, because we want, on the path of meditation, conserve our energy so that we can apply it all that directed towards our future. Be in the present moment and apply it towards the future. By visualizing, dreaming, great things. Mindfulness of eating. Eat only when we feel like eating, not because it's at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, oh, lunchtime, we got to eat. We slowly can look at and say, this fixed regime to body, listening to the body, because of course we are becoming intuitive to the body now. We are in a conference room and you're listening, then will you chat with each other? Then it's not being mindful. Body here, mind somewhere else. In a physical conference room, if you are together, then you're listening to because we are there, you're listening to the person. Then we don't. So oftentimes in the meetings, we are there, then we are not present, we're doing something else. So even if you have, those of you who have some things to talk about in the chat, hold on. Hold on until it's done, because there are several others who also get distracted while we're talking if we post something, isn't it? Of course, I know you're being very appreciative. I love it. The thing is, technology is made in such a way that we have some point and we tend to forget it, so we ought to just release it then before we move on to the next one. In the olden days, we used to take notes, and then towards the end, we used to sum up and then talk about it. So mindfulness of eating is eat when we feel like eating. Pay close attention, that we're not stuffing ourselves. You know, the Japanese practice the 80% food concept. If not 80%, maybe 95%. But don't stuffing. It's all because then we become very aware of it, what we are having. Sleeping the same, mindfulness of sleeping. We don't force ourselves to sleep. Meditation supports us greatly to sleep less so that we have a lot of time. Mindfulness of sleeping. Definitely mindfulness of where we are spending our time, and newspapers, cut it down. If you feel, if it is a job responsible, you got to. When I say cut it down, I don't mean anything wrong. I guess it's all about what is relevant for me. Where do you want to put your attention? Because where your attention goes, the energy flows. Right? I used to love newspaper. Even now I read newspaper. But I used to spend a lot of time, first word to last word. Now, some may have a job responsibility, so they have to go through it, and they do. But many do not necessarily, right? So mindful of action is cutting down what is unrelevant. It's not relevant, so take it out, take it out, take it out. Anything that's not relevant. Is it supporting me in my future, my present and future? Is it supporting me? So what is future? Our dreams, our purpose. So I have got my purpose. Is it supporting? If it is not supporting, in which way? Take it out. Okay, don't know, apply this same thing. Is it higher purpose? Not so, don't know. It's negative, leave it out. Mindfulness, when two people are talking, not cutting. Not cutting. So be there, let them finish, then our mind is full. So we always want to talk about what I have before even they say something. We become great listeners. So we keep on listening. Because when we start listening, friends, A, you're developing great relationship, and then B, of course, we are taking in. Who knows, they may be giving you the most important message for your next project. Just being sensitive, being aware, being present, let things as they be. Do not try to change so much of children, particularly children when it comes to it. Don't do it this way, do it that way, do it this way. You don't want to always constantly change. Non-violence, I love this concept, non-violence, non-interference, non-killing, non-violence, non-interference. Meditation, middle path. So non-interference is a big thing. Being mindful means that we recognize that every individual has their own life to live. So can we be non-interfering in as much as possible in somebody's life? So dear friends, meditation is automatically making us mindful. Mindful is being in the present moment with non-judgmentally. When we know that our thoughts create reality, so we recognize that being very mindful of where my thought is. Where is my attention? Attention is my thought, my feeling, my words at that point. So where is my attention? So being very mindful, and then you know the thoughts create reality, so you're automatically looking at appropriate places. So we will go into breakout rooms today. Same, again, mindfulness. When we are, for example, this is really, everybody needs to express, right? Everybody needs to express. I learned this long ago. If the time is there, we speak. If time is less, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, just depending on the number of people. Especially I've seen in companies, just not giving a chance even team member to even express at all, and then it was just the managers just go on talking. Some leaders, right, probably don't know. Giving the time for everyone to express, important, isn't it? In a group, in a team meetings. That's being mindful. That's all it is. When you recognize that everybody's have feelings, everybody's got equal, so we got to give as much time as possible, right? Thank you, everyone. So it's quite late, 8:05. So we'll meet tomorrow, and then tomorrow we're going to have Patriji with us, right? Of course, we'll send this information on the groups. We missed to announce it earlier, but Patriji will be there with Karthikeyan sir together, and we'll do it from Pyramid Valley. So see you all at 6 a.m. Thank you so much for joining.